Alright, hello YouTube. Alright, so this video that I'm going to be doing today will be another car video, except this time it's going to be for my 1 year anniversary since I got my car. This coming July, well, this end of July this year will be 1 year since I got my car, and I thought, you know what better way to do a 1 year anniversary than to, do a little story time of how I ended up getting this car and do a little car tour inside. I don't really have much. I would do it on my driveway, but it's just I can't back my car out. There's a lot of cars parked out on my driveway, so I thought, you know what, maybe I'm just gonna do it in the garage. But yeah, July 31st will actually be 1 year since I got this car. I'm filming this ahead of time, so by the time I upload it, it will be July 31st. But I'm filming this ahead of time because I have the thought that, you know what, July 31st, I'm probably not gonna have the time to film it. So I thought, you know what, I had the time now, I might as well just film it. I know I'm 3 days early, but when I upload this, it will be on the 31st of July, which will be my 1 year anniversary since I got this car. And so just a little quick intro and a little car tour. This is a 2018 Subaru WRX. I got this last year around July 31st, and last year was the year where I joined I officially became a member of the MTC, also known as the Manual Transmission Club. Yes, this car here comes in manual, because why would I get a WRX in automatic? Any car enthusiast will know that if you get a car like a WRX, it has to come in manual. Just makes more sense. Other people tell you otherwise, but for me, I prefer a manual when it comes for WRX. If I were to get an STI, same thing, manual. Civic Type R, manual. If I were to get, let's say, a Camaro, I would definitely get it in manual. Just to me, it makes more sense. As a car guy, to me, it makes more sense. Other people will tell you differently, but I would prefer, when it comes to these type of cars, I would prefer to get it in manual. So yeah, so a little bit about this car. This is a 2018 Subaru WRX. I got this last year. In about 3 days, this will be 1 year. It will be my 1 year anniversary for this car. I have about 3,000 something mileage on this car. I remember when I got it, it was about 40 kilometers mileage. I would open the hood for you guys, but I'm parked a little bit right up against the table, so I cannot open the hood. But for those of you who own a WRX, you know that it comes in a turbocharged 2.0. I believe it's a 2.0. Is it a 2.0? I think it's a 2.0. Anyhow, but I know it's a turbocharged Subaru Boxer engine, so for those of you who have a WRX, you should know that. It hasn't changed since that time. Yeah, so this is it. I wanted to get it in blue. Well, actually, black and blue was supposed to be my first preference color, but they didn't have it, and they said, you know what, we don't have the car you're looking for at our dealership, so we're gonna have to search dealerships across the country, see if we can find any left over, and then we'll have it delivered, and then you can come pick it up. And I told them, I said, you know what, I wanted either black or blue, but more preferably I wanted black in the beginning, but then I saw the blue one and it looked really nice, and I thought, okay, you know what, if you guys find me a car, find me the right model, I want it in blue. And they said they'll try their best, and they couldn't find it in blue. They got it in white. The ironic thing is, the ironic thing is the white is like my last preference color. So I mean, at that time I said, you know what, am I going to be picky about the color, or am I just going to take it and run with it, you know? And I made the decision, you know what, I'm not going to complain about the color anymore, even though I wanted blue. They couldn't find it in blue, so I mean, at this point I can't complain. At least, you know, it's the right model I was looking for. FYI, this is a sport model. In the beginning, I did want a base model, but I figured, you know what, if I'm going to get a WRX, I might as well just go for the sport model. And besides that, the sport model and the base model, the price difference wasn't too much. It wasn't too much of a price difference. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for the sport model. So yeah, this is the sport model. I've seen the 2019 WRXs and the 2019 STIs. Not much of a difference. The only thing they added there, pretty much, well, the only big thing they added there was the Android CarPlay and the Apple CarPlay. That was about it. That's the only big thing that they added, in my opinion. For this car, it doesn't have Apple CarPlay, but like I said, I don't really care for that. When I listen to music, I have all my music on my phone, so I just hook it up via Bluetooth. I don't need Apple CarPlay for that. Yeah, so this is my car. FYI, I bought this by myself. I saved up for it by myself. It's been 1 year. Well, in about 3 days, it's going to be 1 year anniversary. And like I said, you know what? I'm just filming this ahead of time because I don't think I'll have time to do it on the day of. Yeah, so when I got this one, it came with, I just want to show you guys, it came with the key. It didn't come with the fob because I got the regular, I didn't get the one with the Recaro seats. So, and I didn't get the one with the push button start and all that stuff. So, I mean, I don't really care. I mean, as long as I have something to start the car with, I'm good. But yeah, so so I'm just going to show you guys the inside, just as a 1 year anniversary, do a little car tour on the inside. As you can see, okay, I don't know how good the lighting is here. Maybe the lighting's not that good. I can't open the garage because like I said, I can't back my car out because I got a bunch of other cars on my driveway, so I apologize for that. And the lighting here, my garage light here doesn't really work that well, so I apologize for that. So I hope the lighting is, whatever sunlight is coming through the windows, I hope it's good enough. But yeah, so this is just a little, actually, you know what? Let me see if the garage light works. Oh, what do you know? It works. Sweet. What do you know? Thought it didn't work. Alright. So this is, so basically this is what it is. This is the inside of my car. Okay. I have regular seats, as you guys can see. I didn't get the Recaro seats. Reason for that being is because, well, you know, when I went to the dealership, there was a WRX on display. I remember when I went to the dealership to pick up my car, there was a WRX on display, and I think there was an STI at that time on display, and they both had the Recaro seats, and I sat in those Recaro seats, and to me it's not much of a difference. It really is not. These are regular seats, and I sat in the Recaro seats. I remember I sat in the Recaro seats before, not much of a difference. So the seat belts, they're the regular seat belts. They're not the red color ones that you see with the Recaro seats. So I didn't get it with the Recaro seats because like I said, it's not much of a difference. So there's no point in me getting one with Recaro seats. But the good news is at least I get a moonroof. At least that was a good part. Good. Yeah. So just I'm just going to show you guys a little bit my car tour here. Yeah. So ever since I got this car, I didn't really do. Now I'm a guy. I'm a kind of guy that loves to do mods. Okay, but here's the thing about mods. Okay, here's the thing about doing modifications and stuff. It's too much. I remember when I got not too long ago, I got my car, and I think it was like what, a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to install a wing on the back of my car, and I was looking online and see where I can order a nice wing, and shit, man, it was really expensive. I'm not gonna lie. It was about what, $400 for the wing, and then plus shipping and all that stuff, it was going to be like just a little over $500-600 to have it shipped all the way here. So I said, you know what, forget it. I did call up my dealership to see if they do order the wing, but it was going to be $750 to do the wing. Then I have to pay like about a couple $100 to have it installed and do the paint job, because the wing, when they order it is not painted. So I would have to, pay for the painting as well, and then it's going to be over $1,000. So I said, you know what, forget it. I'm not going to spend like over $1,000 just to do a wing installation. And I mean, I could do it myself, but I don't have the right tools for it. And I would much rather take it to a body shop and have them do it there. But it was too much money. It was just too much money. I know there's people that like to do modifications on their cars. I wanted to modify mine. In the beginning, I wanted to modify mine. Like, I wanted to change my exhaust, and I wanted to do all the straight piping and do all the down piping and all that stuff. And I just want to, increase that turbo noise and all that stuff. I didn't really do it because one of my cousin was saying, you know what, don't do it, because Subaru cars are just very finicky. Plus, it was just too much money. That was the main concern. It was just way too much money. I'm not going to be spending, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 worth of, modifications. That's too much. As much as I would love to do it, but at this time I can't really afford to. It's just out of my. I can't afford to. It's just out of my budget. It's somewhat on my budget. But yeah. So I'm gonna do a little car tour. So about this. So as you can see, I did not put the wing. I did not do any modifications on this. Like I said, I was going to, but this was just too much money. So I kept everything the way it is. I did, however, add some new stuff, interior wise, such as this cell phone holder. I use that when I play my music, because I have two cell phones. I have the first phone I have is my current phone, and then my old phone that's the one I put music on. So I would put it here, and I can play my music through Bluetooth audio. And if I want to switch, I can just switch here, or I can just use these buttons to switch. I have cruise control. I have these are my phone buttons, just in case somebody were to call. I can hook my phone up via Bluetooth, then I can use these buttons to answer my phone. What else? These buttons here, I believe they're to, um, I believe they're to change the, the settings on the screen. I don't remember. I know I used these buttons one time to put the speed, to make the speed, the speedometer a lot bigger so I can see it. But other than that, I forgot what these buttons do. What these buttons do. But I know these are your. I have cruise. These are my cruise. This is my cruise control here. My buttons are here to increase volume, to change the switch to songs. These are my phone buttons in case somebody were to call me via Bluetooth. I have my heat, my air condition. I don't really use the air condition. I haven't really used the air condition, to be honest with you. I think this summer I only used the air condition like what, fucking one time. That was about it. Most of the time I just roll my windows down. But yeah, the heat I don't really use that either. I think this past winter I don't think I've used the heat at all. I've used the defroster, but I don't think I've ever used the heat. Because because during the winter time I'm driving with gloves on. I have my winter gloves on, my winter hat on, and I have like a thick winter coat, so I'm pretty much warm. So I don't really need to turn on the heat. But yeah. But I do use a defroster because I have to melt the shit off my windows here. Yeah, and then going down, I have this little. I don't know if you guys can see it. Hold on, let me just. So going down, I have this little cubby here. Okay, I can put shit in there. I usually put my phone in there. Um, I have like my old phone that I have with music. I clip it in here, and then the phone that I'm currently using, I have it under here, and then I also have obviously have my sunglasses here because it gets really sunny. I also keep my sunglasses case in this little compartment here, which is nice. Um, yeah, so this is the part where I keep I can keep whatever stuff in there, but most of the time I keep my phone and my sunglasses here. And then obviously you have my info entertainment screen. I don't have the maps. I don't have the maps. All I have is radio and Bluetooth, and and the settings. That's about it. That's what I use most of the time. I used to have, when I bought this car, I got like 3 months free of Sirius Radio, but I never use Sirius Radio. I just use the regular radio, or most of the time I just listen to the music from my phone and I just connect it to Bluetooth audio. And yeah, so that's why I don't really use the Sirius Radio. I mean, I have a little seating compartment here, but who still uses CD nowadays, all right? But yeah, so that's just basically your little infotainment system. Hasn't really changed that much. For those of you who've owned Subaru WRXs before, hasn't really changed that much. I don't really mind. As long as I have my Bluetooth audio and my Bluetooth and my radio and my regular radio, like, I'm good, you know. And then moving down here, obviously this is, like I said, this is a stick shift. So I have my little, I have the shifter here. My e-brake is up here. This little guy here, where is he? This here I ordered him from online, Deadpool. Okay, it's a little, I got him online for about $8. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna leave him in my car, cause I don't know where else I'm gonna put him. But yeah, so I have Deadpool here. I got like I got my slots here where I can put my drinks and my coffee and all that shit. Oh, by the way, this Deadpool here, when I saw this online, I thought it was gonna be like an actual action figure. I didn't think it was gonna come like in like this. Like when I first got this, I was like, I like what the fuck is this, right? I thought because when I ordered it online, I saw the picture and I thought it was gonna be like an actual collectible figure, and it turns out to it's this little fucking plastic thing, which is a complete rip-off. I mean, it wasn't until after I bought it, I saw the reviews, and then people were saying like, oh, it's don't get it, don't buy their shit because you get ripped off. It's a scam and shit like that. And just this little fucking thing, like let me tell you guys, just this little fucking thing, I ordered this like fucking months ago, and it came in just a few days ago. It came in the mail just a few days ago, and I ordered this like fucking months ago. Like, you know. But anyhow, it is what it is. Yeah. So moving down here, I got my e-brake, I got my shifter because obviously, like I said, it's a 6-speed manual. I got my heat warmers. I've never used this actually. Never. I've never used the heat warmers, or the seat warmers. Sorry. Because I have the heat. But again, I rarely use the heat, so I think this past winter, I barely used the heat. But yeah, so I got my seat warmers there, and then moving down here, I got my little cubby. Okay, you got your little, well, this box here. This box is for my cell phone holder. I'm just keeping it in here just in case I need to read the instruction manual or something, or I need to put some extra shit in here. I just keep it in here. Yeah, and I have my aux cable. Oh, well, this is my aux cable. I keep it in this compartment just because just in case sometimes my Bluetooth audio, it doesn't connect. I mean, not sometimes, but once in a blue moon, my Bluetooth audio is not going to connect, and it has happened before. I don't know why, but it happens once in a blue moon. Really rarely will my Bluetooth audio connect, so just in case my Bluetooth audio doesn't connect, which is, again, really rare, I have my aux cable, and I can hook my music onto my phone and turn on the aux. So yeah, that's my little cubby there. And then I got these buttons here. They're for the moonroof. I got my garage remote. In that compartment there, I have all my paperwork, my insurance, and all that stuff. That's private documents, so I'm not gonna show you guys. Well, yeah, so this is just a little inside car tour of what it is. I don't really have much. Oh, and in the trunk, I can't open the trunk because the garage door is the garage door is in the way. But yeah, in the trunk, I don't really have much in the trunk. In the trunk, all I have is my spare tire, my winter snow brush, a box to put my groceries in, and a Batman mask, or a rubber Batman cowl. Don't even ask. I was on Wish. I don't know if you guys know that app. Don't know the app? Wish. You can get it you can download it free for your iPhone or your Android, and you can order whatever you want on there. And I was on Wish, that app one time, and I found a Batman cowl from the exact replica from the Batman movies with Christian Bale, and it was $18. So it was 16 to $18. I think it was like around 16 to 18 bucks. So which was not bad. So I was like, you know what? I'm a big fan of Batman. I love Batman comic books. Well, I love comic books, and I love superheroes and villains of all varieties, but Batman was one of my guys. So I was just like, oh, you know what? I'll look so cool with that cowl. So I got a cowl. It's in my trunk. I can really open it, but yeah. Besides, I don't really have much in the trunk, so I'm just gonna list you guys what I have in there, which is an empty box to put my groceries in, a Batman cowl, and my snow brush, and my spare tire. But that's all I have. Um, so yeah. Um, this car, as you know, uses premium gas. Um, I I thought it uses regular, but it uses premium. For me, I have to put premium for this car. Just because, excuse me, it's a turbocharged engine. So I remember the sales guy was saying you have to use premium. Like, do not use it's not don't use regular fuel. Don't use the low grade one, which is the shitty one. Use the premium one because it's a turbo. Your car is turbocharged. It's a turbocharged engine, and it's made for the premium. So whatever you do, use the premium. So I have no choice but to use the premium. Um, yeah, and then now moving over here. Last but not least, I got my power windows. I got this button here automatically locks. If I were to push this button, my passengers cannot open their windows. But I usually leave this on. This here adjusts my side mirrors. Um, yeah, so that's pretty much a little bit of my car tour, the inside of it. And now for a little story time, how I ended up getting this car. Um, as I said before, I've saved up for this car. It wasn't given to me. It wasn't handed to me on a silver platter. I actually saved up for it, and I it was expensive. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. So I remember when I got this car. Um, well, just a little backstory on how I ended up getting this car. Um, I remember the first time I drove. When I knew that I wanted to get my own car back then. Um, I had to, first of all, I had to look around and I had to shop around, and I remember one time I test drove a used Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art. It was a 2009 Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art. It had paddle shifters, and it had you know um, about 250,000 mileage on it, and and at that time, at that time, I didn't know whether I was going to get an automatic or I was going to get a manual. It hadn't really occurred to me. I hadn't really thought about it. Um, but but I just when I went there, I thought it was like a cool car, So when I test drove it, I said at that time, you know what? Wow, the Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art. It's so much fun. It has the paddle shifters. It makes it look like you're driving manual. It's so much fun, right? If you were to ask me back then, would I go with something with paddle shifters? I would have probably told you guys yes. But if you were to ask me now and say, "Hey, would you go for a car with paddle shifters or would you go for a car with an actual stick shift?" I'm going to tell you guys regular stick shift. I'm not even going to go for paddle shifters. Like, if you were to ask me now. if you were to ask me back then, I would have gotten something with paddle shifters. But if you guys were to ask me now, I would have said, no, I would prefer an actual stick shift car with a clutch, with a shift knob and everything. Cause, it's just, stick shift is just more fun. It really is. If you know how to drive stick shift, people who know how to drive stick shift, you'll know firsthand how fun it is. But yeah, so I test drove a Mitsubishi Lancer Rally Art. It's with paddle shifters, and at that time, I thought it was the coolest fucking thing, right? Like with paddle shifters and everything. Like I like the features of the. I kept saying to myself, "Wow, the paddle shifters! It makes it look like you're driving manual, right?" So I thought it was the most fucking coolest thing, right? And then later on, I decided, you know what? Hey, since I'm gonna be getting my own car, why not switch to stick shift? Not paddle shifters, but something with an actual stick shift car. And I remember my parents, they freaked out. They said, you know what? You don't know how to drive stick shift. Like you've never learned how to drive stick shift, which was true. If you were to go back to a couple years ago, I didn't know how to drive stick shift because when I learned on an automatic, just like everybody here in North America, right? So I had no idea how to drive stick shift, but I wanted a stick shift car. Call me crazy, call me stupid, but you know what? That was my thinking. So my folks were like, oh, you know what? It's up to you, like whatever you want to get, right? And so for a while, so I knew I had that in mind. Like I knew I wanted a stick shift car. It wasn't too long after. It was like about a year or two after or was it a year or two after? I know it wasn't too long after I test drove the Lancer. I said to myself I wanted a stick shift car, and I was dead set on getting a stick shift car. And I remember I was on Auto Trader. I was looking around because I knew when it came time for me to get my car, I had to keep shopping around, right? So at that time I had a lot of time to figure it out, but I just thought to myself, you know what, I want to shop around and see what they have, right? So as time flew by, as days and weeks and months as they flew by, I was on Auto Trader nonstop, and I was looking around, and I knew I didn't want to get Honda, I didn't want to get Toyota, because they're the two most common cars on the road. I wanted something different for myself. So I looked at Kia, I looked at Mitsubishi, I looked at Hyundai, I looked at all that stuff, and none of those brands, I mean, they're good brands, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't me. Like I just couldn't see myself driving the car, I wanted something standard. I wanted something that's stick shift, right? With Nissan, most of their cars are automatic. Except the Nissan GTR. I believe the Nissan GTR, it comes in stick. But that was a two-door, and I did not want a two-door car. I mean, it would be nice to get a two-door car, but insurance is going to skyrocket. So I did not get a two-door car. So I wanted something four-door, and something that's with a stick shift and with a clutch and everything. So so then I looked around, and I found Mazda. I found Mazda. It was like a Mazda 3 GT like it was a Mazda 3 GT or something like that, and it was a four-door sedan, and it came in manual. It was a manual transmission. It came with like your shift knob, clutch, and everything. And I was like, you know what? This could be it. And now, keep in mind, at that time, Subaru did not even occur to me. Okay, I've looked at all the other brands, and I wasn't interested in all of them. Just because most of their cars came in automatic, and I did not want an automatic. I wanted manual. So all the other brands I looked at, Kia, Hyundai, all those brands, it did not interest me because, like I said, majority of their cars came in automatic, and I was looking for something manual. And then I found Mazda, and I was dead set on getting Mazda. And keep in mind, Subaru hadn't even occurred to me yet. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, if I had gotten that Mazda 3 in manual, I would have for sure regretted it. Like I would have, for real, like I would have for sure, I would have regretted it. If I had gotten that Mazda 3 GT in stick shift and came back and like a few days later or like a couple months later found out about Subaru, and the WRX and the STI, I would, for sure, I would have regretted it. I would have said to myself, shit, why did I get a Mazda? I could have gotten a Subaru, right? Don't get me wrong. I don't have anything against